all set up with the Zoom recording?
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm pretty
Oh, Lee is on here.
I'm pretty sure he's all good. We talked about it right before. So I'm assuming he's good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and start. So not a lot, but a few new faces on here. So I'll just kind of do like a brief rundown of um, like an intro of Hanzo, my involvement with um, Shib, and why Hanzo was created. So I was with Shiba Inu back when it basically first launched. I would say maybe 3 or 4 weeks later. Um, I came across it. Somebody told me about it. And, long story short, I added in. It was maybe 4 or 5 thousand holders. And it was like 4 or 5 thousand holders at the time. And the Telegram was pretty, I guess you could call it dead. And um, this was, when they had their initial launch. It did okay. It wasn't anything crazy. Um, and then it kind of just, started going sideways for quite some time. And then I added in, and it's still trending sideways. Um, and myself and a few others, we kind of banded together and formed a marketing team. It wasn't like we were appointed or anything like that. We were just from the community, and we were just wanting to make something happen with the project. So, we banded together, got some ideas going. And made it happen. Every day showed up. Doing things the organic way, and there was no marketing wallet. Um, Nothing to no money to spend on ads or hire influencers or anything like that. So, um, everything that we had to do was either from our own pocket, which we didn't spend money, but if we did want something done, we'd have to spend it from our own pocket. Otherwise, it was just the hardcore guerrilla marketing style. So we did that. Took some time. I would say maybe a month and a half. I would say is when we started to gain traction and started attracting people to the project who was on the same wavelength as us in terms of being okay in terms of how we got to make the project moon, which was again just community influence. Um, so the more people we had that were uh, in the same mind frame or mindset rather, it made things a lot easier, obviously, because there's power in numbers. So it was slow in the beginning because it was maybe like a handful, is maybe like 10 at the very most. And then obviously, as time went on, we started gaining more people and things became a lot more easier. And the workload was a lot, less and less stressful too. So, um, but anyway, so we did all that. Stock twits was the big thing for Shiba Inu. And then, shilling under different posts on Twitter, specifically, Elon, because he was like, he still is the thing, I guess. But back then, it was really, him because of Dogecoin. So we were under there, and then being dubbed the Dogecoin killer. It only makes sense for us to be, under his posts anyway. So we were under there, and then on Stock Twist as well. We really weren't doing too much of Telegram shilling, to be honest. Um, it was more of just being on other platforms. So we didn't have a Twitter. There was no official Twitter for the token. Um, there was a Twitter, I'm sorry, but it was dead as well. I begged and begged, Shitoshi and Ryoshi to allow me to run the Twitter, but they were actually like very hesitant because I believe he said that previously they let someone do that, and they hijacked the Twitter. Even though back then it didn't matter because they weren't popular, but it still happened. So there was trust issues with that. So I wasn't able to do it. So I took all my talents and creativity and stuff like that to StockTwits. And after StockTwits, everybody, they were really liking like the content and uniqueness I was putting out because I wasn't just putting out like lame stuff, I guess. And then I circled back around with Satoshi in terms of allowing me to run the actual Twitter, just because a lot of people were liking the stuff that I was putting out. It still never went anywhere, so I just, whatever, and continued to do my thing in regards to my creativity on a platform where it could be referenced to Sheeb, and specifically for that on a board. It was almost just like running the official Twitter on StockTwits. But anyway, so that happened, and then we finally so Elon Musk had tweeted something about buying a Shiba Inu or some shit like that, and I was the second person to notice the tweet. So we sent it in the Telegram, and then everybody just rushed under there, and then after that, it kind of just took off. It was still slow, but it did help. And then also in terms of the NFT aspect, um, I was told that Mark Cuban actually held, I believe it was like 1 billion tokens on his wallet. So people were asking around who can do, any graphic work and NFTs and blah, blah, blah. And I said I could. So that's how I became a part of the NFT incubator. Basically, the incubator was or is a program that's put together where, I think it was like 10 or 12 different artists, graphic artists or whatever, or aspiring graphic artists had the ability to pick our brain. So me included. And then we had, I think it was like 10 others on the board where they could, ask questions about graphic design, NFT, and anything like blockchain related and stuff like that. So, so that was that. And yeah, so she took off, and it got to a point where my services really, not just mine, but anyone from the original team, like services weren't really needed in terms of marketing anymore. Because the community had grown like so massive to where like it was just no way to uh, tame, I guess, the madness in the Telegram. It just got like ridiculous. Every time you send a message out, it get bumped up by 100 other messages, and no one would see it anyway. So there was just no way to like control anything. And in my opinion, my whole point of becoming a part of the marketing team then was to push the token. And now other people are doing what I did. So I kind of, stepped back a little bit, created Hanzo. The reasoning for Hanzo I created is because, I seen the success of Sheeb and all the family members and friends that I got a part of that. They made a great deal of money, and it felt really good, So now I'm trying to replicate that with Hanzo in the same way, organically. Um, Obviously, we have a marketing wallet, so things are a little bit different. So we can, utilize influencers, and we can do ads and, all this other fun glitz and glamour stuff. But I'm a firm believer without a community, like none of that stuff matters. We can hire an influencer to do this or that, but there's no engagement under that tweet if there's not a community who's backing the tweet of the influencer. I mean, it really means nothing. People like to see other people excited about it. Unless it's a Soldier Boy or something like that, then obviously it really doesn't. You don't need a community, to be honest. But then you run into, if you don't have a community and you got just random people just jumping into something because Soldier Boy is in it. By the time he goes to the next project, he's pumping something else. They're gonna take their profits out and go to that versus trying to stick with the original project and actually see it grow long term. So that's where your pump and dumps. Now, obviously, pump and dumps don't come from influencers, all the time, but that's definitely more likely to happen if you don't have a community who's there, to see the vision, the actual vision of it, and not just there to only make money. So with Hanzo, I take the same approach that I took with Shiba Inu and all the things I learned over there. Um, Shaitoshi, who's basically like second in command under Ryoshi, he knows. I have Hanzo. I've talked to him about it. He's seen our chart before. He's seen the old website. He hasn't seen the new one. He's seen the old website before. I have proof if I really wanted to prove that he knows or that I was a part of Shiba Inu. I don't care to prove it. A few people in the community have seen it, so there is valid, however, whatever that word is. People have seen it, so I'm not lying about that. But so yeah, so that was pretty much my whole thing with Shiba Inu and why I quote unquote left. I still market it. I still talk about it on StockTwits. I still have my original account on StockTwits that I made for Shiba Inu as well. So, if you guys who don't know who I am, if you figure it out, you can always go there, scroll all the way to the very first tweet, and you'll see a bunch of tweets about Shiba Inu. So, I was it was myself and four others that got Shiba Inu on StockTwits. So, you'll see all the OG, StockTwits and stuff like that there. And we were just kind of BSing, to be honest, because I had never used it. I just heard that it was good, and we got it on there. To be honest, there wasn't much to promote in terms of like nowadays everyone has these different functions, these burns and redistributions and buybacks and all that stuff. Shiba Inu didn't have that, and it technically still doesn't have it in terms of the actual contract. Now they have the swap to make up for that, but they didn't have that back then. So we didn't have interesting things to really talk about. It was just like you really had to be creative to get people to want to join Shiba Inu. It wasn't too hard either because it was really just Dogecoin in terms of meme tokens. So that's the other thing that helped Shiba Inu out. Now you have, hundreds, and I think I seen a stat, it was like 11,000 or 12,000 meme tokens to date. So it's a lot of, you know, competition out there for those that are actually legit projects. Even the ones that aren't legit, you got the pump and dump ones. Like we're still competing with them because people, they want quick money. But obviously, quick money is not good money all the time, and a lot of people are experiencing that with rug pulls and scams and stuff like that. So that's the other reason Hanzo was created, just to be another project out there where people can invest. And the logo was similar to Shiba Inu because of the similarity aspect to help with the branding and marketing, obviously too. And it just goes along with as far as me, being a part of Shiba Inu as well too. So, but in terms of the rug pulls and scams and stuff like that, it is getting out of hand, unfortunately, and it's kind of making a lot of stuff toxic. It is making it hard for actual projects, like legit projects like Hanzo, to shine through. There's other projects aside from Hanzo that are legit as well too. That message me asking how our community stays so bonded, how we continue to go north when all the other stocks and meme coins and crypto was going south. And my answer to them is just the community. Like that is the answer. I have no other answer. It's not me. It's not influencers. It's literally the community. Because without a community, who's gonna push it? Especially if we're not hiring influencers like that. We do have a few influencers that are on board with us, and Twitter wise, that have been really helpful in pushing out stuff. But those are like organic grown Twitter, or Twitter profiles and influencers. For example, we have Shane. He's a good one. He's a lot smaller than all these other ones, but when he reached out to me, and he gave me his spiel, I told him, I don't mind working with you because, after myself doing my due diligence, and seeing what I saw, and then seeing what my eyes saw and my ears like matched together in terms of what he was saying to me. it really piqued my interest. I definitely, that's something that I'm doing with Hanzo is growing organically. And there's tons and tons and tons of influencers, quote unquote influencers. I'm out here with bots and all that other stuff. Um, that's taking over the game and scamming projects. And gets two retweets when their bots aren't working, or will have 50 retweets and 100 likes and only 2 comments. That doesn't work for me. So we do have a few influencers, but they are organically grown. They're not massive or anything like that. And I don't really care to have influencers that are massive because, again, like my whole focus is community influence, doing things the organic way. And influencers and all this other stuff is just icing on the cake. You shouldn't be relying on them to do things. So, but yeah, so that's that. Let me go to my notes real quick. Okay, so yeah, so in terms of Hanzo, it is a long-term investment. Okay, this is not something, where you should invest your money and expect a massive return in 2 days. Although it is possible because it is crypto, and all it takes is just for that one person to see it or call it, and then there you go. That's exactly what happened with Sheep, to be honest. Um, we were going good, blah blah blah, and we kind of went back down, and then next thing you know, it just shot up out of nowhere. Everyone has their reasonings as to why it happened. I have mine. I'm not going to share it right now because it isn't about she, but yeah. So this is a long term investment. Long term can mean 4 or 5 months, a year, or whatever have you. In my head, long term to me is like a 6 month thing. You know what I mean? Like I would love to see everybody make some good money within 6 months. I'm not promising anything, but I feel like if we continue on the pace that we're on right now, it's very possible. So, but again, it's all in the hands of the community. It's not in my hands solely, even though I'm deemed the leader of the project. But but yeah, it's definitely possible. So, um, in terms of uh, tokens, it was 100 trillion tokens. Right now, we have roughly, I believe, like 36 point something trillion left circulating. Um, so it's a lot, but not a lot, especially compared to a lot of other projects. So we have the 1% burn that happens on literally every single transaction, and a 2% redistribution on every single transaction that includes buys, sells, and transfers. Um, so over time, as long as you're holding your tokens, you're going to be rewarded. So basically, Hanzo's paying you to hold his tokens in your wallet. Um, and it's very powerful because obviously just most recently we had a nice bull run, right? And if you were a holder during that bull run, you got a lot of tokens. Um, and even we had the sell off too. I think it was like 2 or 3 people maybe that did like massive sales, right? So although it sucks in price, it is still rewarding for you. Okay, so even though the sales happened, there were there were burns on that sales, which are permanent. There was the redistribution as well to your wallet. So the next time we make a massive bull run, the value of your wallet would just be that much more valuable. And that's something that a lot of people don't really take the time to actually like calculate and understand. Um, they'll see a new launch and say, oh, 1%, whatever, 2% redistribution, blah, blah, and they'll say, cool. But I don't think anyone like actually takes the time to understand like how powerful it is. If you are indeed a holder and you're holding throughout all these different transactions that's going on. Right now, I think we're approaching 15,000 transactions. I don't know the calculations in terms of like how many tokens were distributed amongst all of our holders within that 15,000. But you can only imagine, as that number continues to grow, the amount of tokens you could receive and the burn. The amount of tokens that you receive is based on how much you're holding in your wallet. So, someone that has 500 billion or whatever have you, they're going to have more tokens distributed to them than someone that only has, a million or something like that. So that's something to keep in mind as well too. But in terms of, some of the active community members, I did have them put on StockTwits what they, at least a rough estimate of what they've earned. And, I had people from 100 million, 200 million. There was someone with 20 billion, which 20 billion tokens at our all-time high is probably like, I don't know, $20,000, something like that. So that is definitely very rewarding. If you're holding, and also to finish that whole segment off, whatever you do invest, you need to make sure that it's not money that you are, as Hanzo Diva was saying the other day, make sure it's not money that you're supposed to be paying rent with, or your bills, utility, anything like that. It needs to be play money. Because in investing in Hanzo or Shiba Inu or Dogecoin or any coin out there, it is a risk in it. And if you're one of those that you can't handle price fluctuating continuously, you shouldn't be investing. That's just my opinion. As bad as we want people to be a part of this. At the end of the day, this is real life money. It's not monopoly money you're playing with. So definitely keep that in mind if you're investing in Hanzo or putting more money in Hanzo, or investing in other projects too. Okay, so community example, already did that. If Let's see if she's on here. If Sandy, if you want to talk about the redistribution calculator real quick, if you're able to.
It's kind of loud in my apartment, but I can try.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, so lots of people love looking at their how much they actually earned, because there's really nowhere you can check your redistribution and how much you're earning from all of this. So we're actually getting one, like a web app developed, that can actually track how much you have earned from your, just from holding your redistribution. And this also includes your most recent buy and sell. So it's not just from your first one. It's the total, um, of how much you've earned from that. And yeah, that'll be so much easier just to track. I know a lot of members are super excited, so they'll subtract. They'll keep track of it on their own, but it's not something that is, I guess, super easy for some. So we're gonna make a little bit of a tracker for you guys, just to make your life easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. No, I was in the Telegram. If someone can hop in the Telegram, because there's someone needing the contract address, I'm moving between too many screens. Okay, cool. So, um, okay, so the website and the white paper is something that Sandy did as well. She did a phenomenal job. Um, that is something for those of you that are on here right now. If you have not clicked the link ever in your life, I highly encourage you to do so. Not only is the design, badass, but it's also very helpful. You'll be able to go in there and see a little glimpse of the app on there, a quick description of the game, or not a description necessarily, but just like a little blurb of the game. And then also the white papers on there as well too, which just goes a little bit more in detail about those two things, and then the actual project itself too. And the white paper itself, I think, is one of the best that I've seen. I've been in crypto for about 4.5 years now, and the actual white paper is more geared to meme. It gives the real meme vibe. It's not it is professional, but it's not like a corporate T type Bitcoin Ethereum white paper. It's actually fun to look at, and the theme of it fits Hanzo very well. So definitely go look at that. All the links you need are on there. The roadmap, of course, the white paper again, how to buy videos or video for now. So if you're talking to anyone who's interested, they've never invested in crypto before, you can just refer them to the website, specifically the tutorial page. There's a step-by-step how-to video on there that you can look at, or have them look at rather, and get get them all set up. And then obviously the Telegram is linked on there, so if they still have questions they can add in if it's something that you don't want to deal with. And we'll be more than happy to help them out. And then when you're shilling Hanzo anywhere, at this point, we have so much stuff on Google that really you can just say Google Hanzo, Hanzo Inu specifically. And I'm just putting emphasis on that because it is like, it's a powerful 3 words, saying to Google Hanzo Inu. It's like, oh, you can just Google me, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that a lot of projects can't really say. And we have literally, I think, 7 or 8 pages on Google of just strictly things about Hanzo, from articles, from an abundance of different pricing platforms that have listed us, some videos on there on YouTube, and then just informative stuff. So it's definitely just another, not only another like marketing tactic, I guess, but also just another tool in terms of where someone can go to learn more about Hanzo too. So, and then I'll talk about the app now just a little bit. So the app is called Hanzo. So So it's literally the title of this Twitter space here. But it is a crypto social app, basically, that was created to solve problems that we currently have in regards to meme, or not meme tokens, but any crypto project that's trying to launch. And if you don't know what those problems are, you probably don't know because you have not launched a project yourself. So you're not like going through, the different conflicts and stuff like that that pops up in terms of interacting with the community, or anything like that. But one example I will give you is the amount of impersonating that goes on in different Telegram groups. So an admin being impersonated by someone else, and DMing anybody who's a part of the group, and whether it's saying, "Do you need help with this?" or "Blah, blah, blah, send me your Ethereum address. I'll send you this," or whatever the case may be. There's a lot of that going on. So one of the things that the Hanzo app will help eliminate is by any admin. So we'll just talk in terms of this project specifically. So if you're an admin in Hanzo, you'll have an actual verified check mark by your name. So similar to what you see on Twitter and Instagram, it's the same exact thing that'll happen inside the app. So if someone does DM you, and they don't have the check mark there, then it's not them. Now some people can say, well, they can just figure out a way to put a check mark there. For your username, you're not going to be able to use any emojis or anything like that. So that's that's a way to solve that problem. That problem there. So admins will have a specific color, and then mods will have a specific color next to their name. So by problems that the problems I'm talking about solving, that's one of them. And there's abundance of different problems that projects face in terms of like production, like with shilling and stuff like that. All those all those problems will be solved with Hanzo. So it's almost just like a 2.0 app, if you will, specifically tailored for crypto projects. But not only is it going to have like community stuff, but there's a music tab on there, so you'll be able to like listen music, upload your own playlist, and just try to really make it personal. Games as well, you'll be able to play games through there too. I think that's really the only thing, the few things that I'll mention with that. I've already kind of went outside my notes. So, but yeah. And then people always ask why an app and not a swap. A swap is, everyone does a swap, literally everybody. I feel like the people who do swaps now are not creative. They don't try to think of anything. They just do a swap because that's what's popular. You do a swap, that's cool. It has like other features, cool. You still have to convince people to use your swap and not use Shiba swap, which right now I think is only for Shiba tokens, but I almost can guarantee you they're gonna make it inclusive for different projects and stuff like that. So um, that's a problem itself. The swap atmosphere is oversaturated, just like the freaking memes. There's a swap being born as quick as an actual project is being born. So, and most of them are just forks, obviously, of other swaps and stuff like that, just to change the skin of the swap to match the project. So that's why we didn't do a swap, and because I think the app is 1,000 times better idea. It's actually solving problems versus a swap is not really solving anything. So people talk about utility and real world use case. A swap is not really a real world use case. Like, if you're not in crypto, who's going to use a swap? Exactly. As far as the app, anyone can use the app. You don't even need to. You have to be in crypto, but you don't necessarily, I guess, have to be like buying or selling anything. You know what I mean? It's almost like Telegram. Like, you have people that use Telegram, but they have nothing to do with crypto, right? Telegram can be used for anything. It's the same idea with the Hanzo app. It can be used for anything. Now, right now, it's going to be tailored towards crypto because Hanzo is a crypto project, but it's also set up to where anybody can utilize it for anything. So I think being versatile is very important, especially if you want something to be in terms of longevity. You want it to be around for an X amount of years. You definitely have to be versatile and diverse as far as who can use it and stuff like that. Hold on. Okay, it's just more people adding it. But yeah, so in terms of the app as well, or I'm sorry, in terms of these projects, it's going to be inclusive for anybody. Shiba Swap, Safe Moon, all these massive projects can use the app as well. There is a vetting process though. So again, we're trying to solve a problem, right? Another problem is the rug pulls and scams that's going on. So with the app, each project that wants to be onboarded it has to be audited by a reputable auditing company. And there's also several other projects that are out there that specifically specialize in finding these projects that are rug pulls or got backdoors, honeypots, all that stuff too. So we plan on partnering with them as they have more experience and the knowledge in terms of what to look out for as well. And it just also doesn't hurt to add or have more people who's in that rug pull scam headspace as well too, so they know exactly what to look for, and it just makes the process a lot easier versus me trying to do extensive research on something that I could just invite somebody else to do who's already been doing it. So again, another problem that we're trying to solve, and that's again the whole reason for Hanzo being created was to give another project to be out there for people to feel safe and comfortable in. And again, that goes back to the logo with familiar. I can't even say the word now. Familiarity. Wow. And the logo too. So it all ties together. A lot of people call Hanzo like a shit coin or a knockoff. There's no way we're a knockoff or a shit coin because our contract is night and day compared to Sheeb's contract. We have taxes and stuff in our contract. They don't. The redistribution, the burn, so they don't have that stuff. So a lot of people call us that are just talking out of their ass and they're super hardcore loyal sheep holders, which I have no problem with. But at the same time, like, if you're going to call us out like that, at least to make sure that you're stuff is on point, you know, because I will definitely shut it down, and I do it very humbly. And I think I make people feel a little bit more silly, the way that I respond to people. Obviously, I could just go off and cuss people, but I don't do that. I'm actually like really professional in my responses too. So, but yeah, so those that are, you know, calling us knockoff and stuff like that is far from it. The only thing that's similar is the logo, and that's really it. So you can definitely use that if anyone approaches you as well, because the guy, I responded to that guy, and he it was on stock twits, and he just liked the response. He didn't respond back to me, so I think that'll get him. But the app is going to be iOS and Android. Progress in regards to the app right now. I've shared images in our Telegram and on Twitter as well. I did receive video footage in regards to like the actual functionality of the app. Is Android, I would say, is about 95% complete now. The iOS is what's being worked on now. There was a holdup because the way that Apple, in terms of their app developer onboarding and stuff like that, is just 20 times more strict than Android. So we ran through like a little obstacle course in that regard, but we're fine now. And so Hanzo is now an LLC, so limited liability company. So now we can go ahead and continue with the iOS part of it, the functionality and stuff like that. And yeah, so you know, with hopefully this shows that you know how serious we are about the app. And you know, obviously, there's a lot of BS with different projects out there that say they're going to do this and do that and don't do it, or they just postpone it for months and months until like the project dies, and then obviously the project's dead, so there's really not going to be any utility. But I would say, you know, we've done a very, very good job of keeping the community updated when we can. We can't release too much because the app there's literally nothing out there like the app. So we have to be strategic on what we release it, when, and how we do it, and to whom it's being told to. Obviously, something like this, I don't know who's who on here. I don't know if you have a vendetta against us or anything like that. Versus like in our Telegram group, I could be a little bit more relaxed in terms of, you know, if it's the core community, because, you know, there's a little bit more trust built there, and I can tell like who's all for the project and, you know, who's not. But as time goes on and as we get closer to, you know, being 100% complete, we still have to do the beta, do security, and all that stuff too. So, but you know, I think the app will definitely be a game changer in the meme sphere. And our goal is to, you know, as Sandy said, is, you know, the community asking the admin, like, when are we going to be on Hanzo, like they do for CG and CMC? Like, that's the goal. Now, again, we're only going to be dealing with projects that are actually legit. In terms of like the onboarding, again, there probably will be like a fee to pay because the app itself is like that useful that I feel more than comfortable enough charging the projects, not the actual users, but the project. Um, and then, you know, whatever we charge, this is going to be put right back into the project. So any proceeds that's made is going to go right into the project, right back into the project. Um, so yeah, so Hanzo is LLC now, so that's exciting. Um, Marketing wise, okay, so we have quite a few DJs, disc jockeys that have been promoting us, utilizing, and so we have quite a few that's been promoting us, and obviously with the whole shutdown thing, they're not out and about doing their thing in venues and arenas like they used to. But I have been talking with them. There's three of them, and a few of them have shows in July, and one for sure has one in August, maybe one in July as well too. Um, but the goal is to have them, or for myself rather, to you know, conversate with the production crew to see how we can intertwine Hanzo to appear on the digital screens. whether that's during the pre-show or as people are walking in, having a QR code there on the screen so they can scan it with their phone, and then whatever pops up, the website, Telegram, I don't know yet, but that's something that we're looking into. That's something that a lot of projects are not tapping into, which I'm sure it'll happen after we do it, but that's another avenue to utilize in terms of marketing. If a screen is not able to be used for whatever reason, or a screen is just not there at the venue or arena, the simple thing of having a Hanzo Inu shirt be worn by the DJ as he's DJing, or having our logo on a skirt for his table, um, or having a logo on his computer, because sometimes the cameraman will zoom in on his setup. So that's a possibility as well too. So DJ Prestige is the first DJ that we have that's will be possibly able to at least wear a shirt to his gig that's coming up, I believe next week. He'll be traveling to Greece. I don't think he'll be landing on Tuesday. I don't know if he has a show on Tuesday or not, but he'll be landing in Greece on Tuesday, and he has a show like sometime during that week. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to get a shirt to him by then. It's just not enough time for it to actually be made and then shipped off to. So, he did say that he would try to get a shirt made when he lands in Greece. If he does, that'll be super dope, obviously. So we'll have pictures and all that stuff, like professional pictures. But moving forward, in terms of the TV thing, that's definitely going to be the first aspects. If we can get on TV first. If not, then we'll go to the t-shirt thing. Now, obviously, the t-shirt thing can be a yes regardless if we get on TV or not. But in terms of plan A and plan B, that's how it'll be looked at. So that's definitely exciting, because how many people are dying to get back out in these different countries to be social again. So you can almost count on each event to be sold out. I would say. So that's definitely exciting in terms of marketing. Trying to go quick here. Let me see. Okay, so now the merch. Okay, so we will be officially having merch now. We have what's called the Stealth Collection, and it's just playing off the whole meme thing again. We have two shirts. We have a white and black. We have a black with white writing and a white with black writing. It says Hanzo Inu and the ninja looking font, which I'll put out on Twitter, obviously. But pre-sale will start today. Shirts are $25 plus your shipping. The quality is 60-40, which is 60% polyester, 40% cotton. So it's very soft and flexible. It's not thick or anything like that. It's nice and breezy. So each purchase for the pre-sale only, okay? Each purchase will count as an entry in a Hanzo giveaway. Okay, so we're gonna be giving away 5 billion Hanzo tokens, and you can win up to 5 billion. So very minimum, it would be 1 billion for 5 winners, or either 2.5 billion for 2 winners, or something like that. Okay, so that's how to be done. When I actually figure out how exactly I want to do it, I'll just tweet it out so you guys know. But you do have the ability to win some Hanzo tokens. 100% of the proceeds will be allocated towards a manual buyback. Okay, so that's something that we're going to implement. It's not in our contract, but we can obviously do it manually. So any money that's made from these, anything we do really that generates profit. Again, for the projects, and this first thing that we're going to do with the merch is going to be doing a buyback. Okay, so that's the popular thing to do now, is doing the buybacks. So even though we don't have it in our contract, we can still implement it. Okay, so for example, if we do $1,500 in profit, that'll be bought or used to purchase Ethereum, and then Ethereum purchase Hanzo, and it'll be sent to our dead wallet. Okay. Right now we have a little bit over 63% of the total supply burn. And that's where the rest of those tokens will be going. So that's exciting as well, because obviously it does, help it fluctuate the price. And the more profit that we make, the bigger the buyback is, the more of an impact it'll have on the price. I will also be price matching. Okay, so if we do $1,500 in profit, I will throw in another $1,500 of my own money, and make that a $3,000 buyback, which is Ethereum and some change or whatever, and the buyback. Um, What else? First, going to be sent to the wallet. Blah blah blah. Oh, so holder count. We're on the rise to reach 5,000 holders, which, in my opinion, is super solid in terms of comparing it to Sheeb. Right, Sheeb was out for almost 3 months, 2.5, 3 months, or something like that, and it was around 4,000, 5,000 mark. With Hanzo, we're approaching 5,000, and I think we're probably 2 months in, with a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So it's really impressive, especially for not using these gigantic influencers to do this or to that, and it just really goes to show like the community's effort and their consistency with wanting to move the project. So once we hit 5,000 holders, we'll have a limited 5,000 holder edition merch drop. I'm not sure how many pieces will be available or what the pieces will be. It won't be anything that has to do with the fall, because it's just not the fall right now, and I don't think it's going to take us that long to reach 5,000 holders. But we can definitely have a conversation in the Telegram in terms of what type of pieces you guys would like to see for the 5,000 holder mark. To be honest, in my opinion, I think it just should be like a shirt or something like that with the crazy dope, design on there. But when we reach that, we'll have that going. Then we'll also do another manual buyback. This will just be funded probably by me, unless we come up with some other way to generate money or whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, we'll have a buyback. The amount, I don't know yet. It'll be, I would say no less than 1,000 at very minimum. But we'll have a buyback done once we hit 5,000 holders. So if we hit 5,000 holders and we hit and we do our pre-sale sells out at around the same time or something like that, then I'll just put both things together, so it can be that much more of an impact versus doing one, for example, tomorrow and then the other later on or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much everything I've went over. Anyone who's still rocking with us, thank you for your hold on one sec. Oh, he's on. Coin wanted to talk. But anyone who's been rocking with us, supporting us on Twitter and stuff like that, or telling people about Hanzo, definitely appreciate it. We've literally every day we've seen growth, even if it's just one holder, even if it's just one follower, it still counts as growth. I really don't remember a day where we've been stagnant, other than the price, obviously. But even when the price is down, we're still gaining holders. So people seeing potential in the projects. Again, obviously, doing it this way is super challenging because it requires a lot of effort in the beginning. But once the traction picks up, like it's going to be a lot easier. And I can tell you from experience with the previous project that I was a part of, that it indeed becomes a lot easier. So easy to where I stepped away. So I want Hanzo to be Sheeb 2.0. I want exchanges to just list us without even paying them, just like they are. I want a deal with Pizza Hut. I want to be on NASCAR and all this other stuff, because that's what's going on with Sheep. Like all these, it's just the community coming up with these ideas, and all these other influencers, and everybody is just talking about Hanzo just because that's what's hot, and that's the wave. So I want Hanzo to be the exact same way. We're on track to do that. And we just have to remember to continue to you know keep pushing even when we have days where things like seem slow. Just like, for example, in the Telegram the other day, or yesterday rather, I would say it was kind of slow. Shilling and stuff was still going on, but it was just like one of those things. Like I think people just needed to take a little break. And then last night, just something kicked in and everybody showed up, and we gained, I think, what, 10, 12 new holders within a couple hours. Then our stock to its numbers jumped, I think maybe like 10 or 12 or something like that. Just in 2 hours of just doing like some quick shilling. So um, it's there. I think the familiar. My God, I'm not even gonna say the word. I think the likeness of the logo and Sheev and stuff like that, and how we're actually going about things um, brings like a calmness to people, to want to jump on board with us. Because again, in the midst of all these scams and rug pulls and stuff like that, people are starting to lose like trust in projects and trust in influencers, as well too. So it does make our job harder in that aspect. But when we do reach those people, it's definitely exciting, and they're excited about it, as well too. And it's nothing like the community influence. You got all these influencers doing this and that and promoting rug pull. People are not going to believe them, or want to take their word to jump into this project. So that's where the community influence, us taking that route, it's leverage for us, because people are more likely to actually believe someone who's doesn't have a ton of followers, and who's like, quote unquote, down to earth, I guess, who's on the same level as somebody else. You're more likely to believe they're authentic about their um, promotion, I guess, onto you. You're more likely to actually listen to them and stuff like that too. So um, definitely community influence is, certainly the way to go, especially during these times too. So I think that's pretty much it. If anyone, wants to talk, who's already on the speaker board, definitely, have at it. Any questions or anything like that, or anything that I missed, or you'd like to go more in depth, just ask away.
Hey everyone, it's Antoinette. Charles, thank you for hosting this AMA today, and I think you've covered a lot. I'm glad I was able to jump on and just be a part of the conversation, which you've done an excellent job of, sharing. Um, I think for people, one of the things that you touched on is for people to understand that this project is not short term; it's a long term project, and I know you gave a timeline of 6 months or so, but people just need to understand that you can't predict what's going to happen with this coin. You can do everything that you can to set it up right. You can do everything that you can to make it an interesting and valuable community and add value to the community. But the new people that come on board, they have to understand that they have to participate too. Just like in real life communities, everybody has to do their part to make sure that the community stays viable, safe, vibrant, active. So people have to understand that when they join, it's not just like, oh, where's the price and why is it going up? They have to come and do some work, whether it's one chill or two, or one, cheer on for the next person that's doing their part in the project. But they just can't come and be bystanders. They need to be participants. That's just kind of like my 2 cents I wanted to share.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, when I did mention that, I said that I'm not guaranteeing anything, but if we continue like what we've been doing, and continue to attract people who's passionate about Hanzo, that I think that's the key word there, passionate about Hanzo. It's no reason why we can't, be back at our all time high by then, or even before then. Because like I said, now, like, with price being where it's at, which is definitely recovered, and recovered quite well a few days ago, and it's since went down, because unfortunately we had people do freaking 4 and 5 Ethereum, but with everything that's going on, Hanzo is still like, it's still out there, it's still in people's eyes. Our watch count on coin market cap continues to increase. We were on coin market cap top gainers for literally 11 days straight. I would say at the very minimum, half of those days we were on every single time frame in the top 30 as far as the ranking. Um, so the traction and the pace that Hanzo is on right now is literally incredible. Again, given that we experienced a whole crypto pandemic with Bitcoin and Ethereum some weeks ago, and a lot of these projects did not make it. So just that alone, the fact that Hanzo is still here, and the only reason Hanzo is still here is because the community still kept pushing on. So we definitely have a strong community, and as we continue to grow, it'll just be that much fun, that much more fun. And also keep in mind, like, this is a meme token at first and foremost. So it is supposed to be fun, So even when price is down, like, if you're not having fun, it's because you invested money that you're not that you shouldn't invest it. Okay, so everyone who's on here, you need to make sure you work on your psychological um, in terms of detaching emotions to anything that you invest in Hanzo, Bitcoin, literally anything. Because as Hanzo Diva said the other day, the floor could fall out at any given moment for any project. So make sure whatever you're investing is not something that you need, because you just drive yourself insane mentally, and it's just unneeded stress. So if it's $100 is all you can invest, just do $100. You don't need to try to stretch $1,000 and hope that you're going to make that thousand back in a few days before your bill comes out. Don't do that stuff. But yeah, so thank you, Hanzo Diva, for your 2 cents with that. Anybody else? Gerani got anything, or Shane? Oh, Shane's on here. Yeah, yeah. So Shane is who I talked about earlier, the organic influencer.
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to say, yeah, the manual buybacks, like, so that's massive. But the matching, I don't know if everyone understands like how big that is. So there's not a lot of projects out there where you can buy in and you're getting redistribution, you're getting the burn, and then you're also getting buybacks. So that wasn't included in the people that are already in, but the people that are going to get in, you're talking, massive potential, because, if I want to buy a t-shirt, you're matching, say it's $20 and the profits, say $5, you're matching $5, that adds up a lot. And that's going to be a massive burn where, we're looking at what, 63% burn. And by the time it actually skyrockets, you can be looking at 70% of the entire supply gone, which a lot of coins don't have. So I just want to toss that out there as far as long-term potential is extreme right now. So that's all I have.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was trying to stress, in the beginning, like the fact that the the redistribution and the burn is continuous. It's literally on every single transaction that happens, including transfer. So, over time, once we, and I want to say as well too, like right now, where price is. Although it sucks with all these sales and like these fluctuating roller coaster prices and stuff like that, even though that sucks, in terms of the reward you're getting, like that, it's almost a good thing that this happening now while prices is this low, because once we skyrocket up 10x, like the burn is not going to be it's not going to be like a massive impact, like it has now, if that makes sense. So always keep that in mind, and it was implemented to make these sales and stuff like that like not so bad, you know what I mean? Again, a reward, like, okay, people are selling but you're not panicking, you're holding, so let me reward you, so definitely keep that in mind. And then obviously, with the buyback as well too, it just makes everything that much more sweet. So even though like I say I don't pay attention to other projects, which I really don't. But obviously just being on social media, you see projects, and that was one thing that I seen. Being the new fad to have buybacks integrated and stuff like that, which a lot of them don't work because like the liquidity fee, all that. This is just too much. So I think doing it how I just explained is good because you don't have to worry about anything affecting the contract or anything potentially happening to the contract because of the buyback. Because it's just manual. It has nothing to do necessarily with the contract function or anything like that. So, um, but yeah. So, anybody else want to say anything? Any newbies on here? You guys have any questions? Steven, Carlos, Tim, the other Carlos, Anthony. Man, I said some names and people disappeared. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, Mr. Julio. Okay, go ahead, DJ. You good, Mr. Julio? You can go ahead.
Hey, sorry, no, I got some bad service here. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, but I mean, there's just one thing I'm seeing. I just wanted to say in the Telegram and in the community is that everyone's kind of taking this long-term mindset, and I think it was Charles that said it. My first couple of weeks, I was checking the price like every day, and in the day-to-day of the price, but lately, I just kind of know where this is going, and it's all just a long-term play. So we just got to keep executing on what we're kind of doing, and we all know where it's going to go, and that long-term mentality is going to get us done. And the compounded interest for holders, I know the holders go up 10, 20, 30 every day, which is huge, but I think if you think of the big picture, if you do that every day, you just have compounded interest with more people coming in. So, we're doing all the right things, and just wanted to say, I appreciate everything that everyone does here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's if you're into the whole 8 plays and stuff like that, that's cool. Like 8 plays are great when you actually hit, right? Which is very far and few between because bots rule the world right now. But if you if you do 8 plays, cool. But I do think everyone should have a Hanzo type investment in their portfolio. Um, you know, it's, and I guess to toot our own horn too. Specifically, a project that continues to improve and progress literally every single day. As I mentioned earlier, I really don't think there was literally one day where we did not improve on. If it wasn't holders, then it was on our platform, like Twitter's, for example. Even though we're gaining people on Twitter, those are potential investors. You know what I mean? To make that holder count go up. So, even like I said, even with holder count, not moving, something else is moving to where we could convert that person into a holder. So everything is intertwined. It's just like a big revolving circle where each thing is on the circle, like a holder, the holder count, the price, the Twitter, the Instagram, all this stuff is on the circle. And even though if we're on this, like the ball is rolling on the circle and it doesn't stop at the holder count to increase it, well, it stops somewhere else to increase that, So there's always something on that circle where that ball stops and it increases the number from coin market cap to um, CoinGecko, we're on Lunar Crush, articles coming out, like all that stuff is on that circle that has to do with the ultimate ending factor, which is the holder count and the price. So definitely, keep that in mind and realize that we're always moving in some aspect. In some aspect. But yeah, anybody else? Shane, you got anything, bro? Go ahead, Sunil.
Hey, hi guys, hi everybody. Thanks, Charles. Thanks for sharing all these updates. It's really nice. It's a very strong community and very strong coin. And thanks to the new joiners who have joined us in. I'm seeing lots of these new faces over right now. The one thing about Hanzo I want to tell about is that I tried a Google Analytics on Hanzo. It's around today morning I tried. Okay, and whenever I have taken our coin and put it to that analytics, Google Analytics, it's a big data tool. In that big data tool, I saw that the number of viewers and the number of people who are interested on Hanzo is really means far better than any other coin right now in the market, the meme coin in the market. It's only having 2 months and we are completely means grabbing the market. I will tell all the new members that grab Hanjo as soon as possible, or else you will lose this opportunity. And thanks Charles, thanks Lee, thanks everybody for my means everybody in my this community giving all the efforts, clarifying our doubts, clarifying the people doubts, welcoming the new people whoever is coming into our team. Okay, it's a very free and open community. It's like a family for me right now. That's it from my
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Sunil. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you don't have Hanzo yet, you should definitely get some. But yeah, in terms of the opportunity, like right now, it is as far as a risk to reward, it's your reward is greater than your risk currently. Where the price is at, and that's the type of stuff you want to get in. You don't want to necessarily get in at the top, because people, if people sell and you're not cool with price fluctuating, you're gonna be sick. So I definitely encourage everybody, to take a look at the chart, if you're not in it yet. And, it ultimately is up to you, but not financial advice, but just a suggestion to, get in when price is not skyrocketing. Unless you like chasing green candles, and that's all. We like those people too, but definitely, make sure you get on the website, look at the white paper, get on YouTube. There's actually I think maybe like a 30-minute, basically like a podcast type deal that I did with a YouTuber in terms of Hanzo and talking about it a little more in depth and stuff like that too. So you can definitely check that out. The YouTuber name is Alex. You just type in like Alex Hanzo or something like that and it'll come up. But yeah, is that it? Anybody else? Who else is on here? Lee, you got anything?
Come on, Lee. I know you have something to say. Lee is the man that's out there working day and night, finding opportunities to bring Hanzo to the airways or to the Twitter or YouTube feed. He comes up with the most creative stuff, and then he throws it at Sandy and go, "Let's do this." So come on, Lee. I know you got something cooking.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. He requested 1 sec. Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Leroy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So all I was gonna say is, after being in crypto for 3 years since the end of 2017, being in this project is like no other crypto project out there, because what other project can you get in this early and actually be involved in the development of the project? With other investments, you just hope and pray that the team is going to do what they're supposed to do and pull through. But with this investment with Hanzo, you actually have an opportunity to make a difference in your own personal investment. You get out there every day or whenever you can, and you shield with us in the Telegram like we do on all the different platforms: YouTube, Stock Twits, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. And it feels cool, being able to work with the founder as well and seeing his experience, and we're all working together as one family. Nobody's better than the other person, and yeah, we're all just like a family there, and it's great.
Yeah. Thanks, Lee. Yeah. So as Hanzo Diva says, so Lee he's basically like he's what I was with Sheep in terms of excuse me, getting everybody on board. And I was getting people on board of Sheep like before we were even like before we even like made a move, you know. When I was with them, working on the marketing team and stuff, like it was just you know, it was mainly just one of those things where like, oh man, like I got, you know, 10 billion tokens for $30. Like that's the only reason I told other people initially. And then when I seen it like starting to take off, I'm like, man, like this is actually like go somewhere, you know. So it kind of just increased my drive and whatnot to tell everybody that I could, you know, to get on, to get in Hanzo, and because it was just so cheap. You know, you're risking $30, like not a big deal, right, for most, right? So that also, you know, helped with my drive of telling everybody too. And you know, I some people I told they went big, and they won big. You know, I had one friend that made 3.5 million off of I think like $5,000 or something like that. My dad, I got him in Sheep, and he made 80,000 off of I think maybe 2K or something like that. My younger brother made I think it was like 15,000 off like $500. So like when I say that I was getting people in early, like I really mean it, you know. And again, you know, it's not like they had to invest $1,000 to make some money, you know, and that's the opportunity with Hanzo now. Originally, it was quite expensive, but you know, with the whole crypto pandemic that came about, you know, and people being scared, it sold off. So now that opportunity is here. The same opportunity that was there for Sheep, in terms of price. So, um, you know, this is not a marketing. This is not really like a marketing tactic, so to speak, but it's, you know, just I guess common sense in terms of like smart investing. So. Um, but yeah, so you know, we're in the same spot, you know, that with that we're in the same spot that she was when I first, you know, went over there and joined the team, and started helping, you know, do the thing over there. So it's definitely unique, and we're a lot further along in terms of progress than she at their beginning stages too. So that's also a good sign. And we're also on, like I said earlier, literally every single tracking, price tracking thing you can think of: CoinStats, Lunar Crush, Coin Markets Cap, CG, Coin Live, Coin Moo Moo or something, like literally every, like stuff I've never heard of. And the only thing that I applied for was just it was CG and Coin Market Cap. That's literally it. Everything else came about because of the popularity. Um, and you know, we were killing it. And you know, also keep in mind, you know, when we are trending, or when price is we're trending on these platforms, and it's just more eyes on the project too. So um, you know, there's definitely a lot of marketing going on that we don't even have to put effort into, such as, you know, being on the platforms, and you know, people watching our ticker on StockTwits, people watching us on CoinMarketCap and all this other stuff too. So you know, when people ask when marketing is already happening. It's already out there. We just need to activate it, so to speak, in terms of, you know, shilling to people. And the other day, like the past, well, I can't say past 11 days because it wasn't like it ended yesterday, but 11 days we were on Coin Market Cap. Like that's literally crazy, you know. Literally 11 days straight consecutively we were on Coin Market Cap, in the top 30. So again, we're doing very, very well, especially, you know, with everything being so community led. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. If no one else has anything to say, I'll kind of leave it at that. So if you do, feel free to chime in real quick.
Charles, one last thing I have, that I want anyone new coming in and they see the noise, I call it noise, with regards to, you know, why are you holding Hanzo if you're a ship holder? I want to dispel that notion that the idea that you can't have both is BS, because for a lot of us, we came to Hanzo because of ship. A lot of us were introduced to Hanzo by someone who introduced us to SHIB, and we bought it, and then they were like, hey, jump on this. So there's nothing wrong with holding both in your wallet. You can hold anything in your wallet if you want to. It's your wallet. So if you hear that noise out there, dispel it. Just forget about it.
Yeah, for sure. I never I don't understand that at all. It's like the Dogecoin and she like they have everybody knows that Dogecoin is like the most ruthless in terms of people shilling other coins and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll never like I don't care if you have another coin like like it's not a big deal. It's enough money. If you got money to have 2 coins, 3, 10 coins, cool, go ahead. But yeah, so definitely, if someone does approach you like that, just remember to be kind in your regard. You can definitely kill somebody, and I'm just being, in terms of words, not literally action. You can definitely kill somebody in a humble way and make them feel ridiculously silly about their comment. Because most of these people that make the comment don't think before they even type. And you got people that gets mad at like our community for shilling Hanzo when they found out about Shiba Doge because someone shielded to them. Like I don't understand that logic at all. And frankly, it's quite silly to get upset because someone's shilling you a coin. Just either ignore it or say no, thank you. Why take 2 or 3 minutes to type out a hateful, paragraph when all we're gonna do is just not even read it unless you're saying, okay, I'm in. So, but yeah, so definitely if you are approached, in any negative way, saying that Hanzo is just a knockoff of SHIB or another shit coin, blah, 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 or replica of SHIB. Like I said earlier, you can literally say there's no way we're a replica of SHIB because our contracts are completely different. SHIB's contract has no, no, features in terms of burns and redistribution and like all that. So they have nothing. They just have a bunch of tokens. And that's the other thing. Like we have 36 trillion left in circulation. They have 538 trillion or something like that tokens left. So there's so many things that we could like go back and forth with, but just remember to be respectful about it. And don't be a complete asshole. When responding to them, but yeah, yeah. Anybody else? Amos. That's all. I'm not sure what your entire username is, but I know you requested to speak. So you got anything? Okay, there you go. I thought you already requested earlier and I approved it, but I guess not. My bad. Oh, looks like his mic is connecting. But while his mic is connecting, anyone else? Darren, you want to say anything? Mike, Tim, anybody? Maria. Man, Amos, you might have to just might have to just add into the Telegram if it's like a question in regards to Hanzo because your mic is not connecting. Jen, you got anything? Or Bill, what the hell? There we go, Bill, my guy. Man, why is no one's microphone? Okay, there you go. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, it's just amazing, even with the massive sell-offs that were going on from the high that we were at this week, that everybody's still standing strong and having each other's back in the Telegram and keep on chilling and everything. And I was just wondering if there was a way that, since with this whole buyback program that you're going to start up in merchandise, is there a way that Lee could do one of his signs so we could shill that on all of our social media platforms, to try to get people in before the 5,000 holders, just to gain more attraction and attention. And then once they know we break that 5,000, it's game on from there. I just think that would be a good idea to kind of promote that beforehand. That way, when it does happen, it's that much bigger.
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. Excuse me, definitely going to promote it because yeah, it is. Like I said, something that is popular with all these new projects that are being born every 30 minutes. Um, so yeah, we'll definitely hype that up. Which I'll do a graphic as well, and then I know Lee and Jabron, they do graphics too. So but yeah, anybody can make a graphic. It doesn't necessarily have to be Lee either. So but yeah, we'll definitely get some stuff out there in regards to the 5,000 holders as well as the pre-sale for the t-shirts and stuff like that. And again, if we hit 5,000 holders and we sell out of t-shirts like before or slightly after, we'll just do both buybacks together. So I mean that's potentially like a $5,000 buyback. Obviously, we can't do it literally like at once because then the bots will be activated. But we can do like um, two smaller buybacks, but on the same day, obviously. But yeah, absolutely, man. Looks like Amos left. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much it. I think this might have been the shortest AMA that we've done, hour and a half. So, but yeah, anyone have anything else? Speak now, forever hold your peace, unless you add into the Telegram. Oh, Sunil, hold on.
How we will make sure that other coins like Shiba, Doge know about our app when it is out, and how we are planning to get them on board. I'm audible?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, yeah, go ahead, Sunil.
No, I'm audible. I am clear on the question because Sumit, it was Sumit's question. He was means I don't know why he can't ask. His request button was not working out, so he told me to ask about this.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hold on, I'm hearing the echo on my headphones. Okay, I think it's fixed. Yeah. So in terms of getting them like on board, so I mean, even though I'm not a part of the team, quote unquote, even though the team is the community at this point, but um, even though I'm not like involved with Shiba Inu that much anymore, I still talk to some of the admin and Shaitoshi as well. I don't talk to him like literally every day, but every now and then, I'll pop into his message and stuff. So, um, and obviously with Shiba Swap Out, like his DMs and stuff like that are just blowing up continuously. So, but I have like a workaround. I have other people that talk to him as well too that I know. So it's just a matter of once the app is fully functional and secure, just approaching them with the idea in a professional manner, similar to how they did, Shiba Swap. Even though it took forever, to come out, when all the infographics and stuff like that they had laid out was very professional. So that's the same approach that we're going to take. We'll have like a pitch deck, which is just like a PDF file of different like still screenshots of the app and what this does, what that does, a description and stuff like that, to present to projects. And it's as simple as, again, just messaging them on Telegram or getting in their Telegram requesting to speak to an admin or something like that. Specifically like with Safe Moon, because I don't know anyone at Safe Moon. But there are other people who might be in our community or different communities, that some of our actual Hanzo community people are in, who may know, people at Safe Moon, like, some of the top guys or girls on the project. So it's going to take some time to obviously like configure everything in terms of how to approach this person or who to use to approach the correct person and stuff like that. But the first step, obviously, is just making sure the app works, that it can hold the amount of traffic, which Hanzo will be, the test for that. And then, after that's all good, secure and stuff like that, while that's going on, we can work on the actual pitch deck, making sure that's pristine and clean and presentable. And then, ship it out to people. In terms of marketing, we plan to use, articles to talk about it. Obviously like on stock twits and Twitter, the normal stuff. But I think something with of this caliber needs to be done on a much more professional level, in terms of making getting it widespread. Like I feel like an article about the app is a lot more. It makes more sense than just only in Telegram shilling it to people. Especially if something to the caliber or something of, especially with a product like Hanzo, of how problem solving it is, in this industry. So yeah, but definitely several avenues we're going to tackle. We don't have every single idea on paper yet. This is something that, it is a community app and it's going to be community led, just like everything else we do is community led. So in terms of ideas and stuff like that, we're obviously open to the community giving ideas and input on how they think the app should be marketed, in terms of videos, how it should look, how the pitch deck should look, the design and stuff like that. Anybody that's in our Telegram will obviously, get be able to see what it looks like and adjust changes, just like we did with the website. Everything wasn't perfect on there. We released it to you guys to check out and give us feedback so we could, change it. Same with the white paper as well. There was errors on there. Let us know. We fixed it. So same thing with the whole app and getting it out to the world, and even the app itself. If there's stuff that the user interface with stuff that's hard to navigate, that doesn't make sense, or it shouldn't be there, or it shouldn't be in this place, or it shouldn't be on the app. Period. That's all feedback that we would consider, which is why Hanzo will be like the test project to use the app before we let all these other projects have the opportunity to be onboarded too. So I think that answers your question. Wasn't there another part of the question, Sunil?
Yeah, 1 minute. How we are planning to get them on board?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's so. As far as getting them on board, I guess I'm not really sure what Smith is really asking in that regard. I feel like I kind of just answered it. I don't know. Like, hold on, my freaking mic is. Hold on 1 sec. Still doing it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what he means by that question, I guess, of how we're gonna get them on board. Exactly. Just tell him to message me. Just tell him to message in the Telegram when he's free, or when we get off here. But okay, so that's it. Looks like people are starting to fall off anyway. But yeah, so that's all I got, people. Thanks for hopping on. We can definitely do another, Twitter AMA in the future as well. I actually like it on this platform too. And we got quite a few. I would at least count maybe 15 at the max of new people that was on here. Definitely wanted a lot more, especially as much engagement we had on Twitter. But people, it is Saturday at 2 p.m. my time, so can't be too picky. But nonetheless, it is recorded, so we can definitely put that out and push that. So thank you, Lee, for doing that. We can definitely put that on YouTube, and I can just push the link out, have the influencers retweet it and stuff like that too. So, but with that being said, that concludes the AMA, first Twitter AMA. Yay. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. The merch and stuff like that will be, the site will go live probably within the next hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. All right, I'm off of here. See you guys in the Telegram.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, later.